Today we are going to create a dot for Dot Day from the book The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. So we're going to start with a tracer, making a circle or a big dot in the center of our white paper. So holding that tracer nice and tight, pressing down hard, and then you saw how I kind of just shifted my arm a bit so I could complete that whole circle. Once you have your circle traced, flip this over, write your name and your room number, whatever that might be, on the back. And then from here, you have a decision to make. Are you going to create a dot by designing inside of the circle? Or are you going to create a blank white dot by designing all around the outside of the circle? So we're going to use two different art materials to do this. The first material is the oil pastels. You're going to be visiting a box of oil pastels. I want you to choose 3 bright colors, or if you wanted to, you could choose black. Brown, I'm not so sure how that would look. I'm not sure about the peach. If you're willing to give it a try, go for it. So I'm going to pick out 3 colors. I'm gonna go with some warm colors. And with these 3 colors, you're going to make line designs either on the outside of the circle or the inside of the circle. We are not coloring with the oil pastels because remember, we're going to use watercolor paint. Oil and water don't mix, so we're going to do like an oil resist. So we want to be able to paint over our lines and see the paint colors. If you just color the whole paper, you're not going to have any place to put your paint. So for this one, I am going to design around my circle. So I am just going to do some different lines like we learned about in the past. So I'm going to start with some wavy lines. Next, I'm going to go in with some swirls or spirals. And lastly, I'm going to go in with some just short, straight lines of different directions. Now you notice all of my lines are done. I've got a lot of this space filled up. Notice I haven't done any designs inside of my circle. You could do the opposite where you're putting all of your designs inside of that dot. So now that I'm done with this, I'm going to put back my oil pastels nicely where they belong, and then I can start to paint. Every table is going to have an ice cube tray of the paint. You're going to have one side that has each of the colors that you will need, and then the opposite side is just a duplicate of what's on this side. So you don't need to reach over. So use the side that's facing you. You're going to use the paintbrush. Please rinse your brush out between colors so you don't mix the colors inside of the ice cube tray so it stays nice for the other people using it. Now, it's a little hard to tell which colors are which. You're welcome to dip in and maybe test it on the placemat so you can see what color is what. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with that color. And I'm going to paint nice and neat all around my dot. Now, how you decide to paint is up to you. So I'm going to use a couple different colors. Now I'm going to stick with one color at a time. So I'm going to keep dipping into this beautiful bright blue color. And I'm going to add the blue everywhere I want blue. Once I'm done with the blue, I clean my brush off inside of the water cup. The water cup will stay on the tray. I just want to make sure you can see it. And then remember, wipe your extra water on the inside of the cup. Then I'm ready to try on another color. And your colors might end up mixing a little bit, and that's okay. Notice I go nice and slow when I go right up to my pencil line. That way I don't go inside of that dot. So now I've finished with my dot. I've got this bright white dot in the inside and all of my designs are on the outside. Now you can see what it would look like if I did an opposite kind of dot. Once you are finished, your brush can go back on the tray. The water cup should always stay on the tray. And then you can take your placemat over with your artwork to the drying rack.